I welcome you all on behalf of Bharat Institute of Science and Technology for the fourth video lecture on biomedical instrumentation. Topic to be discussed today is radiological equipments. Instrumentation is the use of measuring instruments to monitor and control a process. It is the art and science of measurement and control of process variables within the production, laboratory, or manufacturing area. Biomedical instrumentation is a field of creating such instruments that helps us to measure, record, transmit, receive to or from the body. So this is a block diagram or a man-machine interface of an instrument system. So this measurement will be the human being and the display devices will be the monitor or a storage, wherever the data has to be stored for future retrieval. So there is an sensor which senses the biometrics of the measurement, and the electronic instrumentation signal which has the conditioning of the weak signal has been done here, and the signal processing is done. Then we give it to the output display storage or transmission system. From there we get a feedback to the back to the electronic instrumentation, and we give that the feedback signal is used as an actuator to the human being itself. So these are the components of man instrument system. The ventricular fibrillation is a rapid and disorganized cardiac rhythm, as shown in the diagram. If the magnitude of the current is sufficient to excite only part of the heart muscle and disrupted the heart rate, the heart rate can rise to 300 beats per minute. The fibrillation does not stop when the current that triggered it is removed. So ventricular fibrillation is a major cause of death due to electric shock. The threshold for ventricular fibrillation for an average sized human varies from about 75 to 400 milliamperes. Normal rhythmic activity returns only if a brief high current pulse from a defibrillator is applied to depolarize all the cells of the heart muscle. The cell relax together. A normal rhythm usually returns. So this is the body. Several studies using animals of various sizes have shown that the fibrillation threshold increases with body weight. So the fibrillation current increases from 50 milliamperes for 6 kg dogs to 130 milliamperes root mean square for 24 kg dogs. So these are the various systems for various leads used for measuring this study of these animals for various sizes. Heart, the anatomy of the heart is shown here, which has 4 chambers, and a vein brings blood into the right atrium from the upper body, and vein brings blood into the left atrium from lungs. We have SA node and AV node is there. Vein brings blood into the right atrium from lower body, and this is the right ventricle, and we have a left ventricle. Soft thick arrows show that the blood flow. Bold thin arrow shows the electrical pathways in the heart. So artery takes the blood to the lungs actually. This is the AV bundle, and the ventricles contract and the atriums contract is shown in this diagram. This is the electrical system of the heart. We have sinoatrial nodes, Bachmann's bundle. These all are the interior parts of our heart. So anterior internodal tract is there. So middle internodal tract is there. We have a posterior internodal tract. This is atrioventricle, that is AV node and right bundle bunch. Conduction pathways are there. We have a left bundle bunch, and these are the electrical systems of our heart. So when do we need a pacemaker? This is bradycardia, a condition in which the heartbeat is too slow, that is less than 60 beats per minute. Tachycardia is a condition in which the heart beats too fast, more than 80 beats per minute. Atrial fibrillation is the upper chambers of the heart beat rapidly. So what is a pacemaker? The basic parts are the power source and the pulse generator. The pacemaker has a dual chamber pacemaker which should be placed. We have a superior vena cava and a left subclavian vein and a right ventricle. Right atrium and tricuspid wall is there. So this power source and the pulse generator which exhibits the electrodes has been placed below our heart, which will energize or give some pulse for it to operate the electrical activity of our heart. What are the types of biomedical instrumentation? We have direct and indirect method, invasive and non-invasive method. We can contact and have it in remote section. We have some sense and we can activate them real time and static. These are the types of biomedical instrumentation systems. Instruments used here mainly going to discuss in this particular lecture is we have many instruments which is used for biomedical such as X-rays, MRI, ultrasound scan, CT scan, etc. First of all, X-rays, the frequencies of X-rays are approximately 1020 Hertz and its wavelength is approximately 0.01 to 10 nanometers. It consists of high vacuum tube with a heater cathode and an anode vacuum tube. A large DC voltage is used between cathode and anode of X-ray tubes. How it is produced? When heater is on, a very high anode to cathode voltage is applied. The electron emits from cathode and travels towards the anode with a very high velocity that is being shown in this particular picture. This beam of electrons strikes the metal anode such a speed that new rays are made from that slanting surface of the anode. These rays are X-rays, seem to bounce sideways out through thought of the well of that particular tube, how it is being picturized here. These are the X-rays actually. This is a block diagram. It has a filament supply where we have to give some supply to the filament from where the electrons are liberated, and these electrons accelerate towards this particular shield or the anode and get that particular frequency is being denoted as X-ray actually. So here the patient is being here and the X-rays tube produces the X-rays which is being passed here, and we have a lead shield. This will intensify this collimator which will focus this particular beam towards this intensifying surfaces. And how these are all the external things which is required for this high tension supply. We have thermal overload detection is there, and this high voltage rectifier is there, high voltage transformer is there. These are all the things required for this to operate for in X-ray frequency. So this is the magnetic resonance imaging system where the patient will be placed here, and this is the area where we take the diagnosis, the patient here. This is the arrangement made, and this photo shows the MRI scan space. Magnetic resonance imaging make use of magnetic properties of certain atomic nuclei. The hydrogen nuclei behave like compass needles that are partially aligned by a strong magnetic field in the scanner. MRI does not allow radioactivity or ionizing radiation. The frequencies used are typically 40 to 130 megahertz and are in normal radio frequency range. There is no adverse health effects. MRI is particularly useful for the scanning and detecting abnormalities in soft tissue structures in the body. There is no involvement of any kind of radiations in MRI. MRI scan can provide information about the blood circulation throughout the body and the blood vessels. The drawbacks or the demerits or the disadvantages of MRI scan is done in an enclosed space, that is fearful of being in a closely enclosed surface or facing problems with MRI is done. So MRI scan involves normally loud noises while processing because the patient will be giving some earbuds to close his ears actually. So it will produce loud noises. So these all come under our disadvantages. MRI scan involve really loud noises while processing because they involve a really high amount of electric current supply. MRI scanners are usually expensive. Next comes our ultrasound. Ultrasound is an oscillating sound pressure wave with a frequency greater than the upper limit of our human hearing range. Our human hearing range is 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The frequency of ultrasound required for medical imaging are in the range of 1 to 20 MHz. Ultrasound can be used for medical imaging detection, measurement, and cleaning. Physically also it is used in other departments also. In spite of biomedical, we use in many departments for doing measuring, analyzing, flaw detection like that. So this shows an ultrasound imaging, how it gives like a sector imaging. We have the basic principle behind this ultrasound imaging is we give a transmitter pulse, a ultrasound pulse is transmitted, it get reflected from the surface of examination called as echo pulse. So ultrasound pulse will be transmitted and the pulse will be reflected back from the medium, from the part or part of our body where we are going to do all the diagnosis, and the echo pulse is received and we form this image. Advantages are usually non-invasive. We don't put any pin or any electrode inside the body of the particular patient. So we call this as a non-invasive method. So they are usually non-invasive, safe, and relatively painless. Where uses no ionizing radiation. So does not require injection of a contrast medium dye like that. So what the disadvantages of ultrasound is quality and interpretation of the image highly depends on the skill of the person doing the scan. The person who is doing the scan should be a skilled person. Use of a special probe is required in some ultrasound. Some preparations have to be made required before a procedure, example fasting or a full bladder. Sometimes the diagnosis depends that your bladder should be full of water. So you should drink plenty of water. In some cases, it should be empty. So it depends. You need a pre-processing or you have to have a preparation process for ultrasound diagnosis. Next is computerized tomography. A computerized tomography, CT we usually call, uses a computer that takes data from several X-ray images of structures inside a human or animal's body and converts them into pictures on a monitor. A CT scanner emits a series of narrow beams through the human body as it moves through an arc. Inside the CT scanner, there is an X-ray detector which can see hundreds of different levels of density. It can see tissues inside a solid organ. This data is transmitted to a computer which builds up three-dimensional cross-sectional picture of a part of a body and displays it on the screen. The advantages of this particular diagnosis is it is quick and painless, can help diagnose and guide treatment for a wide range of conditions than a plain X-ray, can detect or exclude the presence of more serious problems. The drawbacks or the disadvantage of CT scan is small increased risk of cancer in future from exposure to ionizing radiation, uses higher doses of radiation, so the risk, while still small, are in general greater than other imaging types. So this is the experimental setup or the diagnosis where the patient will be diagnosed. Setup is shown in this particular diagram. The patient will be placed here and we go rounds here and we use the same X-ray type of viewing only. This is called computer tomography. Next comes the radiation therapy. So use of ionizing radiation to treat cancers. Source of ionizing radiation is natural. We have uranium, plutonium, radium, cobalt, iodine, gold, iridium, and man-made radiation material is LINAC and cyclotrons. LINAC is linear acceleration. We call that is a device which is most commonly used for external beam radiation treatments for patients with cancer. It delivers high energy X-rays or electrons to a region of patient with tumor. So the introduction of radiation therapy was started by in 1898 by Driehaus and discovered X-rays. So these are all the evolution of our radiation therapy. So in 1903 we had Robert Reed's cancer breast with the radiotherapy, and 1950 cobalt therapy was there. Then we got gamma knife also. 1970 we had that LINAC, that is the linear accelerators. 1990 a conformal RT technique, stereotactic radiotherapy, and three-dimensional conformal radiotherapy, inverse treatment planning, CyberKnife, intraoperative radiation therapy, chemoradiation therapy, and alter-red fractionation. The role of RT is 50% of the cancer will require radiation therapy. About two-thirds of these is curative intent, and it depends upon the percentage is also about 40%. This is the role of radiation therapy. Biological effects of radiation therapy causes ionization in tissue. This forms free radicals. Free radicals interact and damage DNA during mitosis. Abnormal DNA unable to replicate, causing cell death. Interaction of RT and matter, direct action, direct interaction with the critical targets in cell, indirect action, reaction with the hydrogen oxide to form free radical, and free radical highly reactive, free radicals diffuse to DNA, produce damage to DNA, and biological effects results. These are the interactions of radiation therapy and matter. Biological effects of radiation therapy is the DNA strand breaks. And outcome of radiation damage is the cell survives, cell dies, mitotic cell death, intermitotic death, lymphocytes and ova, salivary glands, etc. Cell repairs for a given time, energy and nutrients itself, it repairs. The human lymphocytes, which uses the biomarkers of radiation exposure, blood samples taken within days or lymphocytes stimulated to divide, and incidence of dicentrics and rings is scored. Dose can be estimated by comparing with in vitro cultures exposed to known doses. This shows the frequency of chromosomal aberrations, the dicentric rings, and all the linear quadratic function. The curve itself says it is a linear quadratic function. That is y is equal to alpha d plus beta d square. The human lymphocytes aberrations per cell is being shown here in graphically. So we have two separate breaks. The consequence of two separate breaks is shown in this particular diagram, and at low doses both breaks may cause by the same electron. The probability of an exchange aberration is proportional to dose D. At higher doses, the two breaks are likely to be caused by separate electrons. The probability of an exchange aberration is proportional to the square of the dose. So repair radiation results is lethal damage, irreversible sublethal damage, and can be repaired unless second dose of RT because of the shoulder in cell survival curve. Repopulation, that is when radiation therapy is administered, some cells die, some cells repair or escape damage with time. These cells will replicate and replace or repopulate the dead cells. If the rate of population exceeds the rate of cell death, then the tumor cell will grow despite treatment. Thus, repopulation is good for normal tissue, bad for tumor. Fractionation allows repair of normal tissue, allows repopulation of normal tissue, it allows reoxygenation of tumor, allows reassortment, but allows repair of tumor, allows proliferation of tumor. Treatment plan is based on tagging disease using classification. The TNM tagging should be done. What is TNM? TNM is tumor node metastasis. That is, it will classify the stage of that particular tumor. Age of the patient, comorbid conditions, medical, dental, speech, nutrition, psychosocial, socio-economic. So TNM is the tagging means we'll rank that particular cancer. It has 4 different stages as stage 0, stage 1, stage 2 and 3, and stage 4. Stage 0 is potential to become a cancer only. So it is just the starting stage, maybe or may not be. So we call that as stage 0. In stage 1, it is small area which can be treated. And 2 and 3 is the lymph node, or where we have a larger area being affected by this cancer cell. A cancer cell is spread to many parts, many area in a particular body. Stage 4 is it has spread to other parts of the body. These are the TNMs tagging actually. Treatment options are, we have primary surgery or primary radiotherapy, adjuvant radiotherapy or concurrent chemotherapy. Then comes the concurrent chemotherapy, surgery for salvage. So radiation therapy is indicated following surgery if soft tissue margin is positive, one or more lymph nodes exhibit extracapsular invasion, bone invasion present, more than one lymph node is positive in the absence of extracapsular invasion, camrobid immunosuppressive disease present, or perineural invasion occur. Terms used in radiotherapy is brain radiation absorption dose in a medium, we call it as RAD, and 1 gray, that is 1 GY equal to 100 rads. 1 C gray is 1 rad. Field or portal, the name of the radiation beam entering through the anatomical site of the body. Example, RT lateral, LT lateral phase portal. Different types of radiotherapy is external beam therapy, brachytherapy, combined external brachytherapy, beam or interstitial brachytherapy, modification of tumor hypoxia, modified radiation fractionation, combined chemotherapy and radiotherapy, combined modified radiation fraction, and simultaneous chemotherapy, intensified modulated radiotherapy, or IMRT. This is a setup for treating the cancer using cobalt 60. That is Theratron arrangement for cobalt 60. This is medical linear accelerator. Actually, what we said, that LINAC. LINAC is linear accelerator, which is a device commonly used for treating cancer patients by passing some beam of radiations. It will deliver high energy X-rays to or electrons to the region where it is where the patient has tumor. So LINAC treatment is X-ray simple, complex, three-dimensional, conformal IMRT. Electrons in head and neck for linear LINAC actually. Any skin cancers reoccurrence. This is the stages in LINAC treatment. IMRT is intensity modulated radiotherapy, advanced form of three-dimensional conformal radiotherapy. It is based on optimized non-uniform beam intensities. It is determined by computer-based optimization techniques, inverse planning. So this is Aquaplast phase mask, which will position the patient still, and this will support the position of the patient to remain while taking this radiation therapy. 1 rad is 1 centigrade, that is 200 cubic gray per day, means 5 days per week. These are the safe limits which the patient should be exposed, or the total dose ranges from actually 6,000 cubic gray to 7,000 gray. This is for 6 to 7 weeks of treatment. So treatment recommendation for buccal mucosa is external beam therapy, most commonly used for T1 and T2 tumors. Larger T3 and operable T4 tumors are more appropriately treated with surgery and post-operative radiation therapy. So post-operated radiation therapy advantages are, it benefit the pathology and surgical findings, better staging, no need to over-treat, and the drawbacks are larger radiation therapy fields to cover surgical bed, and poorer blood supply, and less effective and more late morbidity. Preoperative radiation therapy advantages are downstage tumor, less mutilating surgery, sterilized surgical margins. It removes radiation therapy damaged parts during surgery. Drawbacks are clinical stagging, therefore treat some unnecessary what if tumor not sensitive to radiation therapy, may increase surgical morbidity. So what happens to a patient undergoing radiation therapy? It is acute sequelae, that is general weight loss, nausea, fatigue, and depression is there. Intraoral is mucositis, erythema, and ulceration. And extraoral is we have some burns, alopecia, improved technology, fusion of CT, MRI, and PET images, computer tomography, magnet resonance imaging, and positron emission tomography. This is radioactive tracers to visualize, and we can measure the changes in metabolic process. So the fusion of CT, MRI, and PET images, and 3D conformal radiation therapy, inverse treatment planning, and real-time target localization. We have CyberKnife and BAT systems and tomotherapy like CT scan. Side effects of radiation therapy. It is acute, is nausea and vomiting, and we have skin deascumation as shown in this diagram. And the late is fibrosis, alopecia, and lymphedema, neuromonitis, cancer, and cardiac problems. And what are the late effect of radiation vascular diseases? Intimal thickening of arteries and arterioles, dilation of capillaries and venules, substantial reduction of capillary vascular bed and ischemia and fibrosis. And the practical problems for radiation therapy is we have potential prolongation of treatment schedule, that is Monday to Friday, 3 to 4 weeks. Radiation therapy or radiotherapy planning should be done. We have post-operative radiotherapy and maybe we have adverse effect on reconstruction. What are the different types of radiotherapy? What are the external beam radiotherapy, EBRT, and internal radiotherapy or brachytherapy? External beam therapy is linear accelerator, what we call as LINAC, are the most common source. Conventional radiotherapy and conformal radiotherapy and intensity modulated radiotherapy. The internal radiotherapy, brachytherapy, we have placed inside the next of area requirement treatment. Radiation is delivered through catheters and Marmoset balloon device which remains in the place of duration of the treatment, and it can be given after the whole breast have been treated using EBRT providing a boost. The cell which has been damaged will be directly made in contact with this radiation in this radiation therapy and it will be dead. And it can be used as a sole method of radiotherapy after surgery and limited evidence of clinical advantage. What is the current research in radiotherapy? Current trials are important, low and import high and supremo and fast and target. So the researchers are developing a new class of drugs called radiopharmaceuticals, which deliver radiotherapy directly and specifically to cancer cells. The last several years have been seen an explosion of research and clinical trials testing new radiopharmaceuticals. What are the chances of radiation therapy working? When it comes into early stages of disease, patients very frequently do well with their brachytherapy and external beam radiation. Success rates are around 80% of higher and can be achieved with either approach. Radiotherapy remains a key tool in treatment of breast cancer and in reducing the incidence of reoccurrence. While side effects of nausea, vomiting, and skin erythema are common, new techniques are reducing toxicity. As research in this field progresses, radiotherapy will undoubtedly continue to improve. Early detection of lesions is critical to allow conservative treatment and protect the patient's quality of life. Many avenues constantly under investigation are available to treat oral cancers. With improved methods, a multidisciplinary team can help oral cancer patients deal with the aftermath of treatment. Is radio oncology a good career? In career aspect view also can be done using the study of radiation therapy. So radiation oncology is an inspiring, rewarding and exciting field with a range of opportunities in the public and private areas. It combines the best areas of care of patients of all ages with challenging and continually changing treatment. The daily work can be interesting and motivating. And that's all for today's lecture.